Stop losing sales over text. Homeowners aren't answering their phone. So whether you're trying to set an appointment or follow up after a sales appointment, you're likely stuck texting with your homeowners. And even if you were incredible in the house, if you absolutely suck at sending a text or come across as an idiot, you are losing sales. And it happens to the best of us. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 essential tips to help you keep the conversation going and close more sales over text. Now let's get started. Hey, welcome back. Adam Bensman here, and I'm very excited to jump into this topic today because I see a lot of strong salespeople come across as absolute idiots over text message. And you're just like a professional athlete. A professional athlete or a professional actor is judged based on his or her performance on their last performance, whether that's a movie or game day. So if they did amazing for 12 games and they sucked for 1 game, they're judged on that last performance. And you are no different. So if you did great in the home, but you suck over text, that homeowner is judging you based on coming across like an idiot, and you are going to lose the sale. So let's cover some groundwork on text, understanding the psychology of text, the goal of texting, and the 3 tips that are going to help you close more deals. First, let's get yourself in the mind of your homeowner. You, just like them, are busy people. So imagine you get a text and you know your friend who's really long-winded who sends you a text that's like this long. Okay, now that we have the stage set, imagine this happens. You're walking into an appointment, ding, your phone beeps. You pull it out, you check your text, and it's like a storybook. And you're like, yeah, I got no time. I'll do that one later. And then you do your thing, and then this, and then the phone rings, and then you're busy, and then 2 days later, you realize you never even responded until they respond back, and they're like, hey, I haven't heard from you. And then you're like, oh, shoot, oh man, I don't even know what happened. I totally spaced responding there. So again, that's where people are at when they're getting a text, okay? Now, next, what is the goal of a text? It's very simple. It's to keep the conversation going. Now, ideally, we'd be in the home or on the phone. And when we're in the home or on the phone, we can jive on body language and tonality. We can have a 2-way conversation. And again, it's baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. And then we can go in for the bigger ask, whether it's the appointment or closing the sale. But we lose all of that over text. It is very sterile. It's a few words, and it requires some back and forth. Okay, so our job is very simple. It is to keep the conversation going, to replicate what would have happened in the house. Okay, now, why? Because consistency is one of the most powerful psychological influencers. It is the influential factor that if someone does something, they're more likely to continue doing more of the same thing. Just the same as if you send a long text and they don't respond, it's much easier for them to continually ghost you. If you want to learn more about this phenomenon, I have 2 resources for you. Number 1, read Robert Cialdini's book called Influence. And number 2, you can watch a really twisted psychological experiment that was done via a documentary called The Push, P-U-S-H. Find it. Used to be on Netflix. It's not anymore. You'll probably see why. So again, my job is to get them to respond to the first message so that we can stay in conversation, and they're likely to keep continuing so I can keep it alive until it becomes the right time for me to ask for the next thing, the appointment or the deal. All right, now let's break into some of the biggest mistakes that people make, and let's begin with reading a sample right here. Hi, Peggy. I'm checking in to see where you're at with your roof after we spoke last week. I know you were waiting to hear back from the other roofer. I'd like the opportunity to review what they showed you next to ours so you can understand the difference and why we may be a better choice for you. Thanks again for your time. Let me know when this week works for you. Whew, you notice something there? Yeah, there's no punctuation. This is a common mistake when the arrogant salesperson sits there and uses voice dictation and talks into their phone with absolutely no regard for punctuation whatsoever and thinks to themselves that they're so busy, they're important, they don't have time, they're just rushing this text off, but the other person will get it, it's okay. And then you look like an uneducated idiot. So I'm going to show you that exact message of this long-winded text and how I can turn this into just a couple sentences. And it goes like this. Same exact message goes like this, then we'll break down those rules. Hey, Peggy, hope your appointments with the other roofers went well. How did we compare? That's it. Really simple. Now I want to show you those side by side. Look at the difference. The essential essence of the message was identical. One was a storybook, one was not. Yeah, pretty wild, isn't it? So let's break into these 3 rules. Rule number 1, keep it short. Remember, people are on the fly. They're going to open their phone, and my job is to make it fast and easy for them to understand what I'm saying and to respond quickly, okay? Number 2, Use punctuation. You learned it when you were in probably grade school. I don't care how much school you have or don't have, you know how to use a period. Plug them in where they're needed. Otherwise, you confuse people and you look like an idiot. And then number 3, end with a simple question. I'm going to pull this up again. How did we compare? Now, you'll notice that this question is a simple question because simple questions, they get complex answers. Meanwhile, complex questions get simple answers. I'm going to show you another example of that. See, I teach people how to reignite a stale or ghosted lead using humor, where we send an animated ghost GIF, woo, and it says, "Are you ghosting me?" ? Laughy emoji. And here's Bobby. Bobby sent this message, and I'm going to just paraphrase it because all he did is say, "Are you ghosting me?" And he actually, it's in the animated GIF as you'll see it. It says, "Are you ghosting me?" And the homeowner responds, acknowledging it, laughing, and explaining why they didn't respond, and then talking about next steps. And you can see that right here. Again, in summary, it says, "Hey, Bobby, my phone screen was cracked. I couldn't see your number. Yes, we're still interested." She mentions that they're interested in a roof with solar combo, which, by the way, is going to be a $60,000 deal. This is in Orlando, Florida. And then she says, "Hey, let's talk next steps at this time." And that was it. And all she said was, "Are you ghosting me?" Now, here's a funny thing. Are you ghosting me? Would you'd agree is a closed-ended question, yes or no? But humans don't work like that because simple questions get complex answers, which is why when I end my text with a very simple question, "Are you ghosting me?" that homeowner is going to respond with a whole lot more information that's going to help me continue the conversation by using these 3 simple tips again and again until it's appropriate for me to go in for the next ask, the appointment, or closing the sale. Start using this today. I promise it's going to help you keep that conversation alive and close even more sales. Hey, thanks for joining me in today's video. Just because our time here is about to wrap does not mean your and my time has to, or that it should. So if you haven't yet done it, jump into my free training center right here. There's absolutely no catch. I have bingeable content, whether you're brand new, whether you're an owner or manager, or anywhere in between. And if you like this idea of igniting more deals over text, hang with me, jump into this video I hand selected for you to learn how to reignite ghosted sales. We'll see you in the next one.